Welcome to another exciting show of transformation. Prosper with Wayne, creating wealth, health, and happiness in your life. With your host, life and business coach, author, entrepreneur, and lover of life, Wayne Sutton. Prepare to become excited, expand your beliefs, and truly prosper in all the areas of your life. Enjoy.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Prosper with Wayne. We are creating health, wealth, and happiness in your life. I'm excited about today's podcast. We have NaKole Watson on, and not on my watch. So we're going to jump in quick and just grab a hold of this information. If this is the first time that you've been with us with Prosper with Wayne, be sure to go and to sign up, prosperwithwayne.com. Name, email address to receive all our information, and be sure to share this podcast. Someone needs to hear the message that she has. So, NaKole, thank you for being with me today. And take just 2 or 3 minutes and just share who you are and tell us about yourself.
Well, thank you for having me. My name is NaKole Watson. I am 33 years old, so I'm a good old millennial. And I grew up in a small town, Kinley, North Carolina, and I have grown into being the founder of Not on My Watch, which is a suicide prevention, anti-bullying, and social advocacy organization. That's what I do every day. Yeah.
That's what I love that. What you do every day. And for those who know me or maybe do not know me personally, I'm also from the same big town of Kinley, North Carolina. So it's really cool to speak to another person there. Tell us about that organization, Not on My Watch. How did that come about, or what does the organization do? How can people find? Because listen, I know people are bullied every day. I know there's a lot of. I know you go deeper than just bullying, but tell me a little more about the organization.
So it's funny how my organization started. I never intended to start it. What happened, I was sitting in my room one day, and I'm a very big believer in God. And so I was sitting in my room, and I was talking to God about my life. And I was like, I've never really told my story, and I think I should. And so God inspired me to write a poem. I wrote a poem called My Suicide, and it was about myself. And I wrote a suicide note, but I wrote it as a poem. But then at the end, I changed my mind, in the middle, and then I, gave a testimony. It was a really powerful display of my story. And so I posted it on social media, and, everybody started watching it and sharing it. And this was, that before there was, really Facebook videos and stuff. We did most of our stuff on YouTube. And so from there, when I shared my story, so many people started reaching out to me saying, wow, I have the same story. Wow, I went through the same thing. And then other people would reach out and be like, can you talk to my daughter? Can you talk to my son? And, all of that.
Wow.
And so what ended up happening, I was like, I need to make this a thing, because what I noticed was when people would be suicidal and they would talk to people and they would still feel bad. But then, I would talk to them and it would be okay. And so I was like, wow, I need to make this a thing or whatever. And so I ended up starting my organization because I wanted to have a way to help people, but I also wanted to have a way to leave something for, my family, to leave something for my little cousins, my mentees and stuff like that. And so the main reason for my organization is twofold. Number one, of course, I want to help people. And number two, I wanted to create a system of something that I can leave, generationally to pass down forever.
That's good. Well, I hear the commitment in your heart, and that's great. Yeah, we do something that's great. Teach a man to fish and feed him forever. How do we leave that to other people? We do the same thing here when we coach a lot of people, but when we train life coaches, I know that my experience has taken and going to other people's lives and other people's lives and other people's lives. So tell me about, you talked about suicide and the poem, but there's obviously a story behind that. What is your personal experience with suicide or bullying?
Well, I survived over 22 suicide attempts. And the crazy thing about that is that I used to really keep track of when I would try to kill myself, because each time I would add something to what I did the time before, because I was like, why can't I die? Hello, I don't want to be here. And so, yeah, I survived over 22 suicide attempts.
Wow.
And throughout my middle school, I was bullied a lot. And I became really suicidal because of it. I was bullied because of my appearance. I was bullied because I was smart. I mean, I was just a lot. I was bullied by a couple of teachers. I mean, that was like the hardest time of all of my schooling. It was just terrible. 7th and 8th grade, especially 8th grade. And so I took all of that, and when I would talk to people, I would pull from that experience, because it's one thing to learn how to be a lifeguard because you think it's cool. But it's a whole other thing to learn how to be a lifeguard because you almost drowned and you never want to see anybody else drowning.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it adds another layer to it. And so I have personal, testimonies of how I drank poison, and didn't die, and how I split my wrist, and just all kinds of stuff. And I said, God doesn't waste anything. Even if it's an experience that we got ourselves into, God never wastes any experience that we have. And so I use every experience that I've had to help other people to see there's nothing special about me. You can make it through your situation just like I made it through mine. I don't have anything that you can't access.
And I believe that needs to be shared with everyone, not just youth, but so many people. As a minister and as a coach, I see it a lot. I see people they feel like I'm all alone. I'm all alone, and I'm through with this life. I've counseled a lot that they don't see a way out. And it sounds like obviously you were there too. And bullying is terrible in school, but it's also in the workplace. Bullying is in our normal everyday life. So what results have you had? Now, I know obviously, thankfully, God has spared you, but what results have you had with other people through this movement or through your organization?
Well, I talked to over 1,600 people. I have a 100% success rate.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. Everybody who has ever called my organization and went through talking to me, they're still alive. The only person who has ever died is someone, she died from a heroin overdose. And it was so crazy because I was inboxing her on Facebook, and I kept saying, if you call me, you're going to be fine. And she kept saying she was going to call, and she never did. And so, but everybody that I've ever talked to, and I check every month, and they're still alive. And then from the bullying aspect, I have created a system for parents to use whenever their kids are being bullied. I have a whole advocacy system that tells them exactly what to do. So I think that I've made a lot of progress in my field. I still have a long way to go, but I think that the actual work of it, the actual helping people, I think God has really blessed me to do a really amazing job for an organization that's only three years old.
Oh, great. So you have a program for parents. That's extremely important. Before we end this podcast, I want to make sure we can get people in touch with you for that. I mean, I have 5 children, and one son that he's an adult now, and he's doing great. I have 4 young daughters, and bullying is something I think about a lot. They're very shy. They're very timid. And so how do we protect our children from number one, being bullied, number two, being a bully. I remember at times in my life I was bullied, and I guess my way of coming back out of that was I was a bully to someone else. So that was like my false sense of power. And so we need to look at both aspects. I'm glad you're doing that. Now, obviously, you're motivated by your experience. You're motivated by that success rate. I remember Tony Robbins said, when I was in Dallas and I was able to meet Tony, he said, if I could have got on the phone with Robin Williams, if I could have just got on the phone with Robin Williams, he said, because I've never lost anyone that I've been on the phone with. And that's so important.
Yeah.
What I hear in you is that commitment, that drive. What does drive you? It's Monday morning here, and it's a beautiful day. That Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. What drives you? What fuels you to continue doing this week after week, month after month for 3 years now? And what's going to drive you the next 10 years?
Honestly, it's a 50-50. Half of it is I'm indebted. Like, I see people who die after their first suicide attempt. I mean, Robin Williams died by suicide. He was a great guy, funny, rich. I mean, And so for me, it's two things. It's number one, how could I not? I mean, I survived like all of those suicide attempts. How could I not get out here and use my voice and use my story? But then the other thing that drives me is adversity. Because even though I am not on my watch, NaKole, a lot of the things that drove me to be suicidal initially are still in my life. I still have some of the same struggles. I still have some of the same issues, some of the same situations. I'm not a brand new person with like a whole new life. You know what I mean? So that drives me to continue to fight for myself and for others.
That's really good. It's really good. One thing you said there, I really want people to grab a hold of. You're not a brand new person. We all had the same battles. Maybe not all the same battles, but just because we decide life is worth living, well, I'm going to aspire for greater things. I'm going to make my goals and my dreams and I'm going to make these things become a reality. It doesn't mean life doesn't still hit us hard at times.
That's correct.
And I think people need to know that we live in a fallen world. As a minister, I tell people we live in a world where evil does exist, and evil has a way of working its way into your life. What we have to do is recognize that, as a minister, I believe greater in me, Christ in me is greater than anything in the world. But also that even for those that maybe they're not a Christian, maybe they're not a believer, they were created by God, whether they believe in it or not, and they have worth and they have value. And we as believers moving forward and seeing that. And in our coaching, we tell people a lot, if you're making progress in any area, and so a lot of people think of progress as financial success, or I'm losing weight, or I've met the love of my life. But progress in any area could be learning, going back and getting your GED. It could be going back to school. It could be learning a second or third language. Whatever, any progress gives you something to look forward to, which is a goal. And usually when we start seeing progress, we find happiness. And, finding your self-worth, not the worth of someone else, because if someone else can give you worth, they can take it away. And that is where I think most of our youth today are looking, and especially in the Facebook world. I'll be honest with you. I look how many people liked my post, how many people shared my post, how many people got angry with my post. And if I do it, I know the youth are doing it. And so we're basing our happiness on our map of reality on someone else's response or not. And we have to be careful not to do that.
Absolutely.
So what are your goals, NaKole? Your organization's 3 years strong. I love that. What are your goals? What do you plan? I know you said you plan to leave it and have, something beyond you, but what are some of the goals you hope to acquire in the next 2 to 3 years with it?
One thing that I want to do is I want to write a program, an anti-bullying program, but I don't want to make it like against the person that's doing the bullying. I want it to be a friendly intervention towards the person that's doing the bullying. And I want to get that into the school system. One of the other things that I'm working on now is a few suicide prevention courses that are biblically sound, because I think in the church, a lot of times suicide is shunned and it's just labeled as being demonic. And although I do understand that, you know, there is a such thing as a spirit of heaviness, a lot of times people are suicidal because of their life, not because a demon jumped in their body. Some people, they just don't know how to deal with life, you know. And so I want to be able to present something that is, you know, biblically sound to help spiritual leaders and Christian leaders to walk people through their recovery without demonizing them and making them feel like they don't have faith and, oh, you don't trust God and, oh, you don't know God's love and all of that victim blaming. You know what I mean? I want it to be a very healthy and helpful way, you know, to push them through that. So I'm actually working on that right now. I have a whole, program that I'm building with, 16 modules for spiritual leaders, and then, half of it is for them and half of it is for, the congregation, just to be able to support people. So I want to have that launched in, everywhere by the spring. And then from there, I just want to help people. You know, every day I want to help more people.
I think that's one of the greatest goals we can have in life. If our goal is, I want to write 3 books, I want to have a television program, and I believe in material goals, both financially and not just financial, but things you can put your hands on. I want to have a retreat in 2018, and that's great. But if you wake up every morning with a heart of gratitude and really, how can I take that into the world? Then when life does hit you hard, it will not sting as much, or you can overcome. You can overcome. And I know today more than ever with social media, it's sad, NaKole, I've seen the post where someone said, I'm thinking about cutting my wrist today. And I kept scrolling, and it was so sad. People were like, just do it. They were not telling them, don't do it. They were telling them, just do it. Do what feels right. And I thought, how sad today with social media, where we have the opportunity in the last 10 years of social media to connect us. We've never connected before. But we need to make sure we're connecting with purpose and love, or people are just going to get hurt.
Absolutely.
Okay, so how has your life changed? Now, 3 years ago, you wrote a poem, 3 or so years ago. How's your life changed since that till today?
I feel more empowered. I don't feel like I'm on the bottom end of the struggle, because, you know, like Paul, he had a thorn in his flesh. And the fact of the matter is, some stuff you just deal with, you know, some stuff you just have to start in your life. It doesn't go away. But I think now I'm on the victory end of it, so that, you know, even though I still go through things, I still have bad days, I'm still sad sometimes, I know how to use that to fuel my passion and what I do. So I'm a lot happier. My life is a lot more purposeful, and I have a lot more opportunities to do good and to be good to other people.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. I want to ask you, I want people to learn more about you, to learn more about Not on My Watch, to learn more about the resources you have available. Because I know there's a parent, a grandparent, there's somebody that's going to listen to this and go, wow, I need this, or I know someone that needs this. And as I said, we look at the bully a lot of times. I love what you said here, family intervention, because there's a reason that bully is a bully. And a lot of times it's because they're broken. And how do we address that as well? But how do people get in touch with you if they're going, yes, I need information? Maybe they want you to come speak or any of your resources. How can they get in touch with you?
So the best thing to do is to call Not on My Watch. And the number is 919-295-2172, 919-295-2172. The other way to get in touch with me is through my website. It's N as in Nancy, O as in Oscar, M as in Mary, W as in winner.org. So it's the acronym for Not On My Watch, NOMW.org. You can find out about what I do and, what I have to offer on my website.
Awesome. Well, I'm number one, I am proud to call you a friend. I'm proud to know that you're doing what you're doing. Thank God that you did survive, because through your surviving, you're going to help so many. I know you have helped, and you're going to continue to help. And remember, I really believe there's rewards on earth, there's eternal rewards, and I know you're going to really reap those as well.
Thank you.
Guys, do me a favor, check her out, NOMW.org or 919-295-2172. And I want to thank you all again for being here with me, Prosper with Wayne. If you have any comments, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. Hit the share button, let other people know. And for those who haven't signed up yet, go to prosperwithwayne.com and be sure to sign up for our newsletter. Also, we got a book that I want to release to you. And this book is going to teach you how to become a life coach in 9 weeks. As I was sharing earlier, it's what I do every day and how we can share and help other people. If you've ever thought, I'm called to help people, I know there's more within me that needs to come out. If you've ever felt called to help people and get paid for doing it, that's what life coaching is. So go to lifecoachlifestyle.com, lifecoachlifestyle.com. Get your free book, get on our email list, learn what we're doing and how we're helping other people. So, NaKole, God bless you. Thank you for being on board with us. And continue working. If we can help you any way here, let us know.
Thank you.
All right. God bless.
Thanks for joining us again at Prosper with Wayne. Be sure to subscribe to us for more exciting, life-changing episodes. Go today, in fact. Go now to prosperwithwayne.com and enter your email for our exclusive newsletter and other resources. God bless and go prosper.